This is Chief Judge Germain Maximilien Francais de Marquis Robespierre Pendragon III, Esquire, Attorney at Law, Chief Judge of the State of San Andreas and all excluded territories. This is going to be a tutorial video for the legal system for new and upcoming lawyers. Right now, I am here at the courthouse. The courthouse is here at postal code 7248. When you first come to apply to become a lawyer, you'll walk up to this gentleman here, you'll third eye him, and here it'll allow you to take the bar exam when you pop it up. After you take the bar exam, you'll have to wait for a judge or a chief justice to approve your bar exam. If you fail, they can also allow you to retake your bar exam. After you pass your bar exam, you'll be able to come here and you'll be able to get your bar license. It'll look like this here, and when you use it, it'll pop this up. Now, once you get this license, you're still not cleared yet to go and represent clients or act as a lawyer. To do that, you'll have to schedule an interview with a judge or a chief justice. To do that, you'll head over here into the DOJ Discordia. You'll go down to request appointment. You'll create a ticket. And then you will type in here if you're attempting to become a prosecutor, you'll type that in there. We normally only allow PD to become prosecutors, but if you want to, even without being PD, you may try to apply to do so. You will be contacted in emails and Discordia to set up your interview. When you are, you'll come here again, and you'll be interviewed up here on the 3rd floor in one of these offices. Assuming you pass the interview, you'll be added into the DOJ roster. That's how you get your DOJ affiliation, which allows you to represent people. The DOJ roster can be found here in important documents under employee and bar licensed lawyer roster. And this will list all of the lawyers, judges, prosecutors, and such in the city. If your name is not on here, you're not legally allowed to represent people or act in a court in law unless you get an exception from a judge or the chief justice. No one else may give such an exemption. Alright, so that's how you apply to become and get your bar licensed lawyer. Now I'll walk you through what to do when you are in cells.
Did you need assistance with VIP shit?
So, right now, the police station is at Rockford Hills, right behind the courthouse. The Rockford Hills police station is at 7229. If you're requested to go to jail or cells, that's where you go. If you're requested to go to prison, you'll go to Bolingbrook Prison, which is at 4000. You'll be required to have your bar license on you to be admitted entry. When you come here, you'll place a 911 call. And then after you type this in, as you can see here on the left part of my screen, you'll hit enter, and then an officer will come up here, search you, and then they will allow you in to see your client. You're not, even though you have keys, you are not allowed to open this door here until you're cleared by an officer. To be requested, if you're not called, texted, or emailed personally, they may contact you through the DOJ Discordia. And when they contact you, a officer might request you in this channel. From the time when they add someone, it will be 15 minutes before they send the person for a summary judgment. If you respond within those 15 minutes or the first ones there, you'll be their public defender, and you will be paid by the state, not by the client. They may also have the client or the defendant may also request a lawyer by creating a ticket here. And the citizen will do this, and then they may add. And this should be a role that you're provided once you're hired on during the interview process. So after you've been cleared by PD to enter, you can run around freely unless otherwise directed by the police department. And they may also choose to offer certain trusted lawyers an allowance to carry their firearms on them. Until you're allowed such an allowance, if and or, you're not to have any type of weapons on you, including guns, tasers, any melee weapons. You should not take any handcuffs on you, though they're not strictly banned, and you shouldn't have any ammunition or body armor on you, though it's not strictly banned. Once you're cleared, you will come down here. Your client will more than likely be in the cells over there. Once you come in, you'll want to speak to your client. You can either speak to them here in the cells and have the officers either stand at that desk or stand outside that door. It's preferred to do it in here, but you may also do it in the interrogation room. In here, though, keep in mind that officers will be able to spectate you from here. They're not allowed to do so, but they often do. It's highly recommended that you speak to them here in cells. If the officers are standing there and there, and you whisper with your client, which you can do by hitting your tilde or your F11 key, it may vary based on your keyboard muscles. You can tell that you're whispering based on the lower left-hand corner. There is a green microphone in your eyes, and then there will be 1 bar, as you can see, for whispering, 2 for talking normally, and 3 for yelling. When you talk to your client, be sure to get the full story from them on everything that happens. You have attorney-client privilege, so anything they say to you while they're talking to you cannot be used against them, even if the officers are illegally listening into your conversation. So, after you get it from them, you will approach the officer and get the charges from them and their side of the story, and from there, you'll have to use your best judgment on whether or not to go with a plea deal or seek an immediate trial or a Saturday trial. If you negotiate a plea deal, go into the government cases, which is under departments, and then you will go to threads. You will create a thread, and then you will put in the person you're representing. So I'm going to say it was John Doe, and then it's sell work if you negotiate a plea deal. And after you hit that, a thread will be created, and then you can put requesting 15 for and then you'll be done with your court work. They'll find them and send them off. You can choose to leave the PD, or you may also choose to wait down here even if you've not been called by a client and after being cleared by an officer for people that they bring in and that they may arrest. Alright. Now, assuming that a plea deal can't be reached or they don't choose to drop charges and let the individual go, you will be able to have bail or bond issued if it is for an infraction, a misdemeanor, or a non-aggravated felony. Aggravated felonies are one in which people or a large and valuable amount of property are harmed, damaged, killed, or in any such way transgressed. A bail or bondsman will be listed in the aforementioned DOJ roster, which you will be able to see up here. They'll be listed at the bottom. At this time, there are currently no bail bondsmen or bounty hunters. A bail bondsman can pay bail on behalf of a client who's unable to, or a client can also pay bail. Check the Bail Bondsman Act by Mayor Ron DeSantis for details on how that will be proceeded. You do not need to get bail or bondsman if you go to immediate trial. Immediate trials can be held if there is a judge and a prosecutor on, and all parties are willing to. If you do choose to do an immediate trial, the arresting officer is required to be there, and then the judge and the prosecutor will get everything set up. You should have, within 20 minutes, a discovery from the state on all of their evidence, and the trial is to be started within 25 to 30 minutes after discovery is answered, preferring less than 1 hour from the time that the immediate trial is requested to the time that it starts. Please check court proceedings for an example of how court cases will be taken out. An example of a real trial which has occurred in State v. Mehmet will be listed in the description of this video, so you can see how criminal trials will go forth and civil trials operate in a similar manner. Assuming an immediate trial is not possible, you will request a Saturday trial, which will be listed under court proceedings on how to go about that and the times. To request one, you'll open another thread if a prosecutor hasn't already. You will go to the blank petition for court proceedings, and either the lawyer, preferably, or the prosecutor may request the trial. So, we'll go down to the tutorials, go to threads, create thread, and then you will put in state of San Andreas, and then you'll put your client's name. It's always to be put exactly in this way and listed in the order that they're listed. Then you'll go up here, you'll open the link, then you'll go to File, make a copy, and then make sure to change the title up here and put state. And then you'll put your full name here. You will fill in the date up here. and then you will fill in everything down here. Put your client here. And then you'll put the court level. It starts out at circuit. If you request an appeal, you'll put appellate, and then if you want an appeal from an appellate court, it will go to the Supreme Court. Though you can only appeal or go to the Supreme Court for issues regarding evidence, witnesses, or procedure. It's not a retrying of the case on the factual level. So you'll put this in here. Then you'll go up to share, restrict it. Make sure to change it to this so everyone can view it. Copy the link. Go down to here. Put this in. And then the judge will say, they will add a prosecutor. Please note that the judge will make a copy of this here, sign it, and then put it back in here again, and then he will be the one to add the prosecutor or the arresting officer and have them answer the motion for discovery. And then the prosecutor will put all the evidence in here. If the state requests motions for discovery and the judge approves it, they will at you here and also have you answer it. This is just the motion for the court procedure. The motion for discovery can be found here, and it's filled out in a similar manner. You'll have to fill this in with the motion for the court procedure as well. Then after you do that, a date and a time for the schedule, normally on Saturdays, will be set forth, and then all parties will be required to show up at that time. If bail or bond has been issued, then the defendant, if they do not show up, will be fined and forfeit any bail or bond that they paid as pursuant to the Bail Bond Act by Ron DeSantis. And if they do not have bail or bond which can be paid, they will be sent for the full time and full fine in a summary judgment. And that will be the end of this tutorial video.